trying to make it all make sense.
The
More
You
No
Podcast.
I'm grateful for Ed Mylett just as much as I am for Joe Rogan. And I've only really known Ed Mylett for like a year now. But he's made such a big difference in my life. And I'm just so grateful to have people like that in general. They're sharing things like this through podcasts, and then being able to take the time to read books. And then now it's really, really exciting because it hasn't entirely culminated, but like with these conversations that are like this conversation here that's going to be broken down into clips, with my book, with my other things that like when I'm doing my talks in my garage, that's going to spread like wildfire. It's going to be a product of what they shared with me, which is just something it's so cool.
Yeah.
You're going to a quantum level with that. You're going beyond time and space. You're going beyond your physical reality, because it's like there's something that Ed Mylett feels. There's a concept that he believes. There's a concept that flows through his body, flows through his soul, that he shares with me. Then it's with me. And then it gets, so somebody reads my book in the future, it's in them. And then that inspires them to start a podcast or read a book. And then that future generation consumes that. That's something that's infinite. Those ideas, those concepts, those feelings, those perspectives, and those mentalities that are all shared that make a difference in our lives, those go beyond our physical reality. They go beyond time and space. And I think that's fascinating.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
And that's my whole thing with pursuing a life of significance, and why I'm so motivated to do it at the largest extent, and why like the school of significance, it being in my title, like, and that's one of those things. I'm grateful for Dan Clark, because I came across his book in the dollar store, which is that's another thing where you get reassurance surrounding the concept of life is happening for you with things like this. So like I didn't even get this book. My mom bought me this book at the dollar store because she knew he's into this. She thinks it's like woo-woo, the personal development type stuff. But she's like, oh, this is a personal development type book. Riley will love this. She picked it up for me. Like, for some reason, I was really compelled to just immediately pick it up and start reading it. Something of like when she just gave it to me, I had it in my hands. I looked at the cover. There was just something like, I need to read this. And I read it. And this book entirely shifted my mindset, like the life is happening for you thing. Because what it did was it made me realize that all of my intent is purely surrounding a life of significance, not a life of success. But in a lot of ways, my day-to-day mentality was chasing success. And
yeah,
with touching on that life is happening for you thing, it's like my mom happened to buy this book at the dollar store. She happened to give it to me. There's a certain level of feeling compelled to look at it, and it made this huge monumental impact in my life, the same way as the concept, this life is happening for you concept, or the being a hero of your own story concept from Joe Rogan. Life happens for you in the same way there, where it's like a year ago, I wish I would have realized that I'm really focused on a life of significance rather than a life of success, because I would have been less anxious and gone through less burnout. And I mean, hell, even like what we were talking about, gaining awareness surrounding mistakes I made with Natalie and I's relationship, if I would have realized that I'm focusing on a life of significance rather than success, I would have conducted myself differently in certain ways with our relationship. So it's like getting this book at that time, that's life happening for me. I hope this talk makes a positive impact in your life. Please subscribe to the podcast wherever you are listening or watching it. Check out other episodes, leave a review, and follow us on social media at More You Know Pod. Also, please don't forget about our sweepstakes. Retweet a clip with the hashtag #TheMoreYouKnow and new podcast from our Twitter for a chance to win a signed copy of my upcoming book, The More You Know, coming this fall. Tag 2 friends in the comments on a clip on Instagram for a chance to win a brand new copy of Dean Graziosi's Millionaire Mindset or Ed Mylett's Max Out. Like us or share a clip on Facebook for a chance to win a book I have read that highly inspired me, signed by me with an inspirational message. Again, thank you for listening as we propel with podcasting through the more you know.
I'm just trying to make it all make sense.
The
More
You
No
Podcast.